Morning students. Today we are going to discuss about data types. Data types is basically going to discuss basically the built-in data types that we basically used in the programs, that is numbers, string, list and tuple and dictionary. Numbers, integer, float, boolean, okay, complex numbers is there, string, and then we have a list, then tuple, then dictionary. So what is the basically number? Number is basically integer, that is now whole number 2, 3, 4, 5 in this way. Float, floating point number 5.5, 6.75 in this way number. Boolean is written true and false. And string is written by the double quote and the single quote. So string is a sequence of characters and each character can be individually accessed using index. Okay, a Python string is a sequence of character and each character can be individually accessed using its index. So suppose first we use that is Python, is written down Python in double quote. In double quote is written that is a string, or you can write down in single quote also, that is whatever you write single quote or double quote, that actually identify it's a string. Okay, now if we index is count, so there is a two kind of indexes there, one is positive, one is negative. If we count start from here, so it's 0, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5. So there is what is the length then? Length is 6. Then the length of the string is 6. Index is 0. Index always start with 0. Always remember, when we count the index of a string, it's always start with 0. So 0 for P, 1 for Y, 2 for T, 3 for H, 4 for O, 5 for N. Next if we count, this is the forward index. If we count in the reverse order, in the backward index, in this way, this is count as a -1. So N for -1, O for -2, T for -3, H for -3, T for -4, Y for -5 and P for -6. This one. So this is the last 3 -6 one options are there. So this is the basic options on that. Okay. So always remember, if you want to print, that is suppose in this way, that suppose it is str equal to 1 equal to Python. Now if you print str1 5, so what is print? It actually given the output of 0 1 2 3 4 5 n. Now if you want to print suppose str1 -2, what it given? O in the reverse order. Okay, so in this way this is considered as string. So now we going down about list. So what is this basically list? What is a list? List in Python is represent actually in a square bracket. In a square bracket. If there is any number within the square bracket, then obviously think about that this is a string. Okay, this is a string. Sorry, this is a list. Extremely sorry, this is a list. So list and tuples are in Python's is a compound data type. It's basically called compound data types. Compound data types. We have taken the together in one sections because they are basically in same types with one difference. What that list can be changed. One difference between list and tuples, that is list can be changed or it mutable. Mutable का मतलब वही same, that is the changed. Mutable means changed. It can be mutable. Okay. And it's modified, but it can be modified. List can be modified, but tuples cannot be changed. But always remember, and one or more difference is tuple will be determined or identified using the parenthesis, the first bracket, first parenthesis. It is not changed or immutable. Immutable. Okay, this is the difference. This is immutable. Let us talk about list. So suppose we declare 1 2 3 4 5 in this way by comma, separated by comma, A, E, I, O and U. Okay, suppose in this way you can write out in the mixture way also, that is suppose Neha, you are given a string 5, integer number 5.75, floating point number. So when you write down a string, must be in single quote or double quote. Okay, in this way. So list can be hold any kinds of data types in one square bracket. Okay, so if we given here suppose list equal 1 equal to this one declared, and now you have to suppose print list 1. So what it print the whole list in this way, Neha as it is 5.75 as it is print in this way. Okay, now we are going down about tuples. What is tuples? Tuples are those lists that cannot be changed or not modifiable. Tuples are represented as a group of comma or separated, and it can be represented in first parenthesis. It can be written in a first parenthesis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It also taken any kind of database. Suppose it is P1, it is declared as P2. Okay, that is A, E, I, O and U in this way also. And suppose in P3, suppose 7, 8, 9 in this way also, you can write 7, 8, 9.7, 5.4, A, B, C, one string, anything, whatever. In this way also it can be declared. Okay, it can be accessed in this way also. Suppose you have to print P3, so it will give in the same result as it is 7, 8, 9.7, 5.4, A, B, C. Okay, now it's going to the about dictionary. So what is dictionary? What is dictionary? Dictionary is data type is another feature in Python. Dictionary is an unordered set of comma. That is basically, always remember, key value pairs. Why it is called key value pairs? I will tell little time. But I will describe it, that why it is called key value pairs. It is basically unordered set. Unordered, O-R-D-E-R-E-D, unordered set. Basically unordered set. Okay. Now how you write down this one? Suppose in this way, declaring this way, that is DICT1, and it is declared in second curly braces or second braces. It's called basically curly braces in this way. Now you given the key, suppose name, and you given here suppose Ram. Next you give it the comma in this way, and you have to give name also a string, so you have to comma this way. Now you have given suppose age 26. Okay, again you have to give one comma. Next you have to give and suppose address in this way. Again it colon, this is fixed, colon must be given, not equal to, not other sign, obviously always colon. Address suppose Kolkata, end it. So this is a key, this is a value, this is a key, this is a value, this is a key, this is a value. Whatever in the left side of the colon, that is a key, and right side of the colon, that is a value. So that's why it is called key value pairs, and it's an unordered list. That is nothing to mean, that is you have to, that is the key, it is a value, it is a key, it is a value, it is a key, it is a value. So whatever in the left side of the colon, that is a key, and right side of the colon, that is actually the value, and it's represented using the curly braces. Okay, but the order is not maintained. You can write down age first, name second, address third, in this way. So this is not required to mention all the thing in a proper way. So that's why it is an unordered set and represented by curly braces and key value pairs. This is the main thing important. So how you can access? You just print DICT1. So it print all the things. It's print is how in this way it will print name Ram, age 26, address Kolkata. Okay, in this way. So this one. So remember what is the mutable and what is the immutable data type. So immutable, which is the immutable? Integers, floating point, boolean, string, tuples, all are the immutables. All are the immutables. And what is the mutable? Only list. Mutable is the list, dictionary and set. तो म्यूटेबल डेटा टाइप्स कौन कौन सा है और इम्यूटेबल डेटा टाइप्स कौन कौन सा है. म्यूटेबल मतलब दैट मीन्स द म्यूटेबल्स इज दैट व्हाट which data types you can be changed, and immutables means which value you cannot be changed. Okay, so what is the immutable? Immutable integers, floating numbers, floating point. Number 3 is booleans, then is strings, tuples. Okay, what is the mutable? List, dictionary, and one is also there, that is called set. In normal mathematics, a set there, here is also set there. There is no duplicate value, and set also represent using the curly braces. Set also represent using the curly braces, and one important thing, that is no duplicate value. In tuple and in list, there have duplicate value, that just like 2 times 5, 2 times 3, 2 times names. But in the case of list, in sets, there is no duplicacy of the value or repetition of the value. Okay, so that's all about the mutable, immutable, and the data types. Okay, so next, in the next sections, we are going to that on the next point, that is loop. What is basically loop? If else statements already have been covered. That's in the previous classes that we have been discussed about the if else statement, about the if else statements. And today we have the branching statement. Also we are starting about from the previous topic, that is called if else, looping or branching. Okay, branching, that is a conditional, looping and branching. Okay, looping and branching, and conditional statement. So you know about the flow chart, that there is a sign about some particular flow chart. There is a process, there's cross, there is a decision, is like a diamond sign in this way, not this. Actually the sign is this, in this way, in this way, in this way, and in this way. This is a sign. This is called the decision, DCISI. So decision sign is basically for the condition signs. Okay, so first we going to discuss about the if statement. So how we write down the if statement? The simple form of the if statement: test conditions, and if the condition is evaluated true, it carries out and some instruction and does nothing in case condition is false. So first we given the if, then if is given, then there is a conditional statement, then there is a conditional statements or expressions, colon, there is an indentation, then within this if statement there is some statement. Okay, in this way. So this is the syntax of the if. This is the syntax of the if. So in this way the if statement will be executed. So how we write on if statement? Suppose we give a small example of if in this way. Suppose a equal to integer input, enter first integer, b equal to integer input, enter second integer. Next, if a greater than 10 and b is less than 15, condition is given, then c equal to first bracket a minus b multiplication a plus b, print the result is equal to comma C. Okay, in this way. So this statement is an not part. Suppose if statement as it is not intended the same level that body of the statement, so it is not intended basically. This statement will be start from here, proper indentation. Okay, and this statement will start from here, if. So this is the thing, this is the if else condition. Now what is the if else condition? Now if else condition going in this way, suppose if what is the syntax is write down in here. If condition statement it's true, then it's going to the else part. It's also have some statement. That means the block below if gets executed if the condition evaluates true, and the block below of the else get executed if the condition evaluated in the if is false. When else is executed? When if is false, that time else part is executed. When if part is true, then this is executed, this statement. When if condition is false, that time this statement will be executed. So if else in this way. Okay, so suppose if you write down in this way, if a greater than 0, suppose you write down in this way, that is if a is greater than 0, if a is greater than 0, then print is 0 or a positive number greater than or equal to 0. This kind of message. Else, agar ye true, this if this condition is not true, then comes to the else part. Else print a is a negative number. If a is not greater than 0 or equal to 0, then a must be a negative number. If a is 1 or 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, then a is 0 or positive number. But if a is not equal to 0 or greater than 0, then it must be a negative number, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, in this way. So this is the condition of if else. Okay. Next one is that is called elif. If and elif is also there. What is the if elif? Now sometimes you need to check another condition in case test condition. So if condition is evaluated to false, that is you want to check a condition when control reaches to the else part. So if the condition test in the from the else if, that is if the condition is given to the else if, that is the test of the else if. To understand this condition, suppose we write down this. I write down this question, this statement. Suppose if runs are more than 100, okay, then it is a century. We all know if run is more than 100, then it is a century. Else if runs are more than 50, we give another else, another one condition. Else if runs are more than 50, if runs are more than 50, then it is a 50, then it is a HALF, that is half century. Okay. Else there is another condition. Else batsman has neither scored a century nor a 50. Else part is, that is batsman neither scored a century or a half century. Century or a half century. Okay, so this is the thing. When you add one extra conditions here, when you add one extra conditions, that time the else if is there. If runs are more than 100, then it is a century. Else batsman has neither scored a century but not a half century. So when you have to give the condition of half century, so that time you have to give the else if between if and else if we can add multiple elif, that is else if. In the short it is called elif, elif. So in between if and else, so if you provide if, there is a else, but in the between if and else there is a multiple elif will be given. Multiple condition is there, but multiple elif will be there. Okay, why its if else statement is so popular and important in the Python? Because in Python there is no switch case conditions. In Python there is no switch case condition, so that's why if else statement is important here. So that's why multiple condition is there, that time we use the elif in this way.